Officials called the shelling near the two countries' maritime border provocative and said it would respond with appropriate measures. 4 people were killed on the smaller of the islands, Yeonpyeong, in 2010 by another barrage of North Korean shells. That was the first such attack on a civilian area since the end of the Korean War 70 years ago. Go live to our reporter in Seoul, Yuku, to tell us exactly what happened. So, North Korea had fired more than 200 artillery rounds into the West Sea on Friday morning as a part of its military drill. The shells hit the north side of the northern limit line, which is a tightly defended maritime border, but it caused no damage to civilians or the military. And what about the reaction from South Korea? How unusual is it to evacuate people in this way? To be honest, this is not a total surprise for residents living near borders. However, some people have been worried about the possibility of another worst military conflict near the island since 2010. At that time, Pyongyang fired dozens of artillery at Yeonpyeong Island, killing 4 people, including 2 civilians. South Korean officials have said they would respond with what they called appropriate measures. What other appropriate measures do you think they'll be? So, after this incident, the South Korean military issued an emergency evacuation alarm to the residents living nearby western border islands. And they notified what happened, and they plan to launch a similar fire drill in response. And South Korea actually did respond with a similar fire drill at 3 p.m. local time. And for now, we cannot expect what will follow. However, the alert has been dismissed. Thank you very much indeed for that update. The US says North Korea has significantly increased its support for Russia's offensive in Ukraine, supplying Moscow with ballistic missiles and launchers. White House National Security spokesperson John Kirby says newly declassified intelligence shows that Russian forces fired one such missile at Ukraine last week and several more 2 days ago. Coinciding with his comments, North Korea released new pictures showing the country's leader, Kim Jong-un, touring a missile launcher factory with his young daughter. The girl, who's reported to be about 10 years old, made her first public appearance in November 2022, when she watched a long-range missile test launch with her father. Mr. Kirby said that Pyongyang was seeking Russia's military assistance in return for the supply of weapons, and he said Washington would raise the issue at the United Nations Security Council due in part to our sanctions and export